Proposals suck. It's not just you. They suck for everyone. So I want you to do this instead. All right, I want to get you out of the proposal writing business. We're not in the business of writing proposals. We're in the business of doing whatever we do. I do consulting. You might do web design. You might do Facebook ads. You do that as a business. You should not be in the business of writing proposals, sending them out to people, and hoping and praying they become a client. That's not how we do things. So there's two different categories for getting out of the proposal writing business. The first one is if you've got a productized service, you essentially have a standard procedure, a standard product, a standard effort that you do for every one of your clients. This is something you just don't need a proposal for. You do a presentation and you close. That's it. You don't have to be fancy. Doing a proposal means you're just extending your sales process. You don't need to do that. The second category is those who have a custom service. You do something unique for every one of your clients. You need a specific sales process to get out of the proposal writing game. So for you guys with the custom solutions, we're going to cover 3 areas in this video. One is the 3 C's. We're going to have conversations, we're going to collaborate, and we're going to close. The second one is agreements first, proposals second. The third is present your proposal. Before I get into that, I want to address the easy one, those who have a productized or standard service. Getting out of the proposal game for you is a matter of stating, this is my policy, we don't do proposals. So what we do instead is we first pre-qualify all leads. Before we get on a call with them and go through our presentation, we pre-qualify them. We want to make sure they have a budget. We want to make sure they have a project. We want to make sure they're going to make a decision sometime soon before we go through the trouble of pitching. Then second, our pitch is a presentation. We want to present as if we're doing a product demo. The more you can make your service look like how a SaaS demo works or a product demonstration, if you can do something like that, you will increase your close ratio. If at the end of your presentation, a prospect says, send me a proposal, then you need to go back and re-engineer your presentation to showcase the fact that this is the proposal. We're going to show you everything you need to know to make a decision about our service, including price, timeline, the works. We're going to talk about it right here, right now. So we don't have to go write up a proposal, send it out, and wish for the best. But they asked for a proposal. So what you need to do is explain, this was the proposal. You heard the entire proposal. And then what they'll probably say is, I'll need to think about it. What you need to do then is figure out what's their actual objection, because all they're doing is delaying making a decision. And this is the best time to be able to get a decision out of them because they can ask you any question, but you're going to have to help them because no one likes that process. If they've got something that they are holding on to that you've not uncovered, and they say, I need to think about it, you need to extract that out of them so that you can move on and get to the close. Now back to the custom solutions, where you're sort of expected to have a proposal because it's kind of complex. People want you to have some big fancy pitch and they want to see the whole process, and then they want to take your PDF and take it around the entire office and deliberate over it and just essentially waste a lot of time. What we want to do is switch up that whole process. We want to get away from the way people expect things to happen and put people into our procedure. So the first thing we have to get into is the 3 C's. We need to start having conversations with our prospects. We want to make sure that we are working towards collaborating with our prospects. And then eventually that leads to a close. And the close brings us to the next step, which is agreement. We need to get people to agree. That's all we're after. The close is simply getting an agreement on what we're actually going to do, what we're talking about here. What are the things that the prospect finds important? What do they need solved? You get all these details down and you come up with an agreement. We're going to solve these issues by doing diagnosis. We're going to do strategy. Then we're going to go into the setup phase, and then we'll get into the actual project. Once we're in agreement, then we can move to the proposal. We can actually start crafting the next steps, which is simply writing down everything we agreed to in our conversations. You got to remember, this is a collaborative process. This isn't a old school sales process where we're just trying to convince somebody to give us money. What we want to do, because we're doing custom solutions, there's a lot of things that can come up in the process of doing a custom solution, a lot of problems. And those problems could cost you all the profit that you could potentially make from this client. So what we want to do is collaborate, be a partner. This brings us to the third part of our sales process, which is we present the proposal. We never make a proposal and send it off and hope for the best. What we've done is we've already set up a time to talk with the client again, so that when we come in with the proposal, you can send it to them right before the meeting. And then you get on that meeting and you start discussing it. You present it, you present the ideas, go back to everything we agreed on, and make sure that they still find those things important. One of the problems with sending out a proposal is things change. The longer it takes for them to make a decision, the less likely some of the things that they decided upon that they asked for in that proposal aren't even important anymore. Business changes quickly, or priorities change quickly, and they look at that and go, this isn't even important anymore. So when you get on your presentation call where you're going through the proposal, you need to make sure you're cooperating with your client. You need to make sure that everything is still golden. If too much time has passed from your previous conversations to this pre-scheduled presentation call, then you're going to have a lot of stuff that probably isn't going to be as important inside your proposal anymore, and you're probably going to rewrite it. So this is a case where you're going to cooperate with your client again and be able to make sure everything is what they want, so that at the end of this call, we close. If things have changed significantly, you go back through the process. You go through conversations, you cooperate with them, redo your agreement, then you come back and do another presentation live with your prospect. If everything's good, they're like, yeah, that's exactly what we're after, then you move forward with your contract, which could simply be that actual proposal. You may have your proposal designed in such a way, because contracts don't have to be ugly, you can have your proposal designed in such a way that it has everything that we've talked about and that you've agreed to, including scope, including responsibilities for the client, including responsibilities for you and any third parties. You can have all that included inside this presentation. Then you can have the decision maker sign it and send it back to you. If you want, you can have a separate contract that you send over immediately upon them saying yes in that call. You just send it right over. Have it prepared, ready to go. Don't wait. That's what everyone does. Don't wait. Send it immediately. And then get their signature while you are on that call with them. Use DocuSign or any other form of electronic signature so you can have it immediately signed. Now you are closed. Now the next step is get the initial payment. So in this case, if it's a large project, and if you're doing custom work, it better be a large project, you may only be getting a deposit. So you need to have a deadline built into your proposal that says if you don't get payment within a certain amount of time so that you can start the project, the contract and that proposal is voided. This way it prevents a prospect who has already agreed, they've signed, so you're like, oh yay, client. it prevents them from just sitting around and delaying the process further. So you make sure you have a clause in there that says if there's a delay. And then if there is a delay and they still wish to proceed, inside that clause says there will be a new fee added to start up the project again. This incentivizes every one of your prospects to move quickly, instead of what normally happens is they go, I'm going to think about it, and they forget about it. So I don't want you to forget about that like button. Subscribe, share, comment, and do all the socials. And I'll see you in the next video.